Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my July update. I actually read 16 books. 6 of them were graphic novels. And because I am out for summer vacation, I have more time to read, so I've been reading in the morning. I've been doing things with the kids, reading at night. And I also had participated in the booktubeathon. You saw some of these books before, but I'm going to go do a whole wrap up. And I'm just going to tell you what I'm actually didn't finish in July, because I have a couple that I started but did not complete. So I have these sitting here. So let's see. The very first book I read in July was I don't have my books because they are at the library. I already returned them. So I have pictures of the books in my journal. I have a journal that I keep track of all the books that I read. And I put the picture of the book, and then I write about the book, and I also put my star rating in here. I was a little behind because I read 16 and I just filled this up recently, but I do update on my Goodreads as soon as I finish it, so I can remember what I wrote. I write my review on there on Goodreads, and then I fill it into my book when I have a chance. So anyway, the very first book I read was Lies My Girlfriend Told Me, and I gave that 4 stars. That's this one here. And it was a very quick read. I took it out from the library. The main character is a lesbian, but it also has love, deception, death, and drugs in it. So just to let you be warned, it was a good book. I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read in July was Wicked Games by Sean Olin, and I gave this one a 5 star. After I finished I devoured the book. I read it really fast. After I finished the book, in the very back, it is a sequel. So this was book 1, and there was lots of twists and turns in the book. It was very good, very fast paced, and I really liked it. So I gave it 5 stars. It was like a train wreck that happened, so it was awesome. I highly recommend reading that one. The next book I read, I listened to on my phone, was Ellen DeGeneres, The Funny Thing Is. That's this one here. And I gave it a 3 star. I enjoyed it, but it could have been better. I didn't like that she used a lot of inappropriate language in it, and I was not allowed to listen to it with the kids in the car or whatever, so I had to do it while I was either cooking dinner or doing stuff around the house. It was hard to listen to, but I did give it 3 stars. I did enjoy it. It was a good and adult book. The next book I read was a graphic novel. I gave this 5 stars. It's called Saga, book 1. It's that one. A lot of people are reading this. A lot of young adults are reading this, and I was very, very shocked when I opened it up and read this book. There's a lot of images in there that is not appropriate for young children or young teens. Let's just say I never saw a male's body for a long, long time. So I guess I was like 16, 17. So to see images like this, I felt like I was looking at porn. But anyway, it is science fiction. It's, I would say, more mature adult would read these novels. It is very graphic. It has a lot of language in it also. So, and I don't recommend it for younger than, I would say younger than 16, 17. 17, okay, but younger than 16, I don't recommend it. Anyway, the next book that I read was The Secret Garden. Is a middle grade book, and I gave that one 5 stars. I never read it when I was little. It's The Secret Garden there. I gave it 5 stars. It's a middle grade book, and it's a classic, so it was good. And the next book I read, another classic, was Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed the story in the beginning, but then it had some other thing that I never heard of before within. It's my kids' books, so it's middle grade. And it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. It was good up until like the regular story of Alice in Wonderland, when she goes into the house and she gets big and small and all that. It was good, classic. But then after that, it had some other story in the book, and I didn't really like the other part of the story. So the next book that I read was Because of Winn-Dixie, and that is a middle grade book. It was a short, cute story, and I gave that 5 stars. And we also watched the movie, so it was really cute. Then I continued my graphic novel, book 2 of Saga, and that one I gave 3 stars. Again, a lot of adult content and cursing and stuff like that in it. So the next novel I read, graphic novel, was another graphic novel called Mouse, and this is book 1 by Art Spiegelman, and I gave that one 3 stars. That's that one. I knew it was about World War II. I didn't like how he portrayed us as Jews as mice, and the Nazis are cats, and Polish people are pigs. I didn't really like that part about it, but it was, and the grammar. It didn't speak very well when you were reading it. It felt like he was translating it from a different language into English, and he was forgetting the pronouns. So I was like, it gave me a hard time to read it, because I like to read real proper English, and that was just annoying me. So I gave that one 3 stars. But I continued on with the series. I read the next one, which is Mouse Part 2, and I gave that one 4 stars. It continues. The language was a little better for me at that time. He told more about his father in the concentration camps, and it's a very horrible story. But and it also flipped from present to past. It got a little confusing, but I did enjoy the story more in the second book than in the first book. The next book I read was a book, and it was called Ask Me by Kimberly Pauly, which is that one, and I gave it 3 stars. It's about, imagine always telling the truth when someone asks you a question. This power can get you into trouble. I figured out the murder before the end of the book, so that's why I gave it 3 stars. I would have gave it probably 4 stars, but since I figured it out before, I like to be surprised and like, whoa, you know. So I figured it out before, so I gave it 3 stars. The next book I read, and I could not put this down, this is a graphic novel, Death Note, book 1. Actually, it's book 1, but I had 3. It's a bind up, so it has 3 in it, and that's this one, Death Note. And it was really cool. It's black and white. I enjoyed it. It's about a teen boy who finds a notebook that is the Death Note. And when you write down people in the book, people die. So it was really cool. I enjoyed it. I did actually pick up book 2, so I am from the library, and this one has, I think, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think, in here. So, and I'll show you some of. I returned the other one, but it's in black and white, and it's really cool. So I enjoyed the first one, and they also have it on Netflix, the cartoon. So I did watch the first 2 episodes on Netflix. So the next book I read was A Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Senna, and that's that one. And that's the book of the month for Explosion, book of the month. And I probably would not have picked this book up. I gave it 3 stars. The only reason I read it is because the book Explosion of the Month was for July, and it was very slow paced for me. It's about wizards and warriors, and I probably would not have read it otherwise. And I probably will not continue the series. I'm not sure. I only gave it 3 stars. The next book I read was Saga, and I gave that's book 3, and I gave that 3 stars again. Again, it has bloodshed in it, it has sex in it, it has inappropriate images and language. It's very an adult type book, and it's a graphic novel. So, and the next book, this one took me a very, very long time, and a lot of people give it 5 stars. And I don't know why I struggled reading this book. I started it, it was really fast paced, and when I got up to the politics of it, I just put it down. I couldn't get through it. It was like so boring, that part. Like, they went to a parade and all that, and at that point I was like, I'd rather read something else. So I put the book down, and I started this book back in May, the end of May, and I just finally finished it actually yesterday. Because I wanted to finish it. I wanted to get it off my Kindle. So, and that book is My Life Next Door, and I only gave it 3 stars. I struggled, and I love the fact that the next door neighbor, the boy, his name was Jace, his family had a lot of children, and I really enjoyed reading that part with all the children, with the mother struggling with all the children, because I have triplets, and I know how it is to deal with a lot of children. But the girl in the book, her mother is a senator or something, and she's running for a senator, and just that part, like, it was just, and she didn't like the people next door, and I just didn't like that part. I didn't like how she was like putting them down, and I felt so bad for the family, for the boy's family. So but I did finish it, and it did pick up better in the end, but I did feel that there was no resolution at the end. Like, it just ended. I don't know if she's going to make another sequel or whatever. It just ended, and I was like, what? This is the end? I'm like, and I kept on rewinding my Kindle. I'm like, I'm missing a page. But it just ended. I was like, what? Anyway, so I would have gave it 3.5 stars. It was good, but just that fact at the end, and I didn't like the mom very well, so, the girl's mom. And I don't want to say any more else, because there are some things that are in there that are spoilers, so I don't want to say anything else. The last book I read in July, this was on my Kindle. I borrowed it in June from Amazon Prime for free, and I didn't finish it until actually this morning from my Kindle. So I really like to read physical books, and stuff on my Kindle I read when I'm out or about, and I don't like that I have to keep charging my Kindle. So that's what annoys me so much. Anyway, I did finish it. It was a 5-star. It's book 2 of Angel Fall, and it's called World After. And it's by Susan E. It was fantastic. It was just like the first one. I really enjoyed it. It has a lot of blood and gore in it, so it's creepy factor. I really liked that it was very fast paced, even though I kept on putting it down and reading something else. I did enjoy it. The main character, Penryn, I think that's how you say it. She was she likes to kick butt. She likes to kick people's butts. Anyway, and Raphael is the angel, and in book 1, he loses his wings, and in book 2, he tries to get them back. And the sister, Paige, is something happens to her in book 1. I don't want to say anything else because she becomes really creepy. But it was a very good book, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend that series if you are liking creepiness and fast-paced books. Okay, so that was all my books that I read in July, and I will show you what I'm continuing to read. I am reading in the middle of Rainbow Rowell Landline. Okay, I am halfway through the book. Let's see. I am page 176. So that's halfway. And I'm enjoying it, but I feel like it could have been a little bit better. So I'm hoping that it picks up, and because I really like her books, so I'm hoping to finish this and complete this in August. And I also started this one from the library, Don't You Forget About Me. And I started this one. I'm on page 101 of this one. It's very strange. I'm like, I still don't know what the heck I'm reading. So anyway, I'm 100 pages through, and the book was due yesterday, and I didn't finish it, but I did renew it. So I do have another 3 weeks to finish this. It's interesting, very interesting. So I don't want to, it just says on the front, Paradise Comes at a Cost. And it's by Kate Carines Quinn. I butchered her name, but I'm enjoying it, but it's a very strange read, so just to let you know. And then I want to read, I picked this up from the library, and I have, I think, 5 more days. I had to read this one before I had to return it. The Half-Life of Molly Pierce, and this is by Katrina Lino. And I really want to read this one, but that will be for August. And then I am listening to, on my phone, Prisoner of Night and Fog, and that's what it looks like. I don't know if the lighting's bad. But I'm listening to this on my phone. I can't listen to it with the kids around, so I'm listening to it when I'm vacuuming or when I'm doing when I'm cooking dinner and stuff. So I'm listening to that. It's about the Holocaust. The woman in the main character is the sister of, I don't know if it's the niece or the sister still, of Hitler. So it's very interesting. I'm on chapter 18 right now, and there's 24 chapters, I think. I have an hour and a half left to go. And I am enjoying it, so I'm going to continue that in August. And I have a ton of books that I took out from the library. I have no idea. Let me just show you what I picked up from the library this week. Well, I got Death Note too, so I definitely want to read that one. That's a graphic novel. I picked up Soulless by Gail Carriger. And this is about vampires, werewolves, and parasols. I picked up this. And I picked up The Gifts of Perfection. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are, by Bren Brown. And I think this is a nonfiction book. And it's kind of short, so I picked up that one. I picked up an adult novel. I really wanted to read this one, and I don't want to buy it. It's by Alice Clayton, called The Wallbanger. It's an adult book, so I'm hoping to read this in August. And my kids got this Adventure Time graphic novel. I think my kids are going to read. I started reading it with my kids. I'm not really quite enjoying it, so it might be just something I might read with them. So I got that. We already started that one. I picked up The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, and that's this one. This is a middle grade book. I picked up this, I think one of my Goodreads groups is reading this, so I picked up this to read. That's a middle grade. I picked up Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood. It's book 1 of a series. I have no idea why I picked it up, but I did. What else do I have? My kids stuck their regular books in here. I picked up Scott Pilgrim, another graphic novel. This is book 1. And this one, black and white. So I picked up that. I picked up Amulet, The Stonekeeper. This is book 1, and this is another graphic novel, and this one's colorful. So I picked up that. I picked up The Hidden Girl by Shima Hall, and this is a true story about a girl that is a slave. It's a true story of a modern-day child slave. So she was born in Egypt, and somehow her mother sold her, and then she came to California, and somebody reported her, and this is a true story, and the girl is only young. I gave it to my grandmother because I brought this to my grandmother at my mother's house, and my grandmother picked it up out of the 5 books that I had in my bin, and she's like, let me read this. So she read it in like 2 days, and she really enjoyed it. And the girl, I think now, is only in her 30s, the author of the book. So, yeah, I don't remember what age. She was born in 1989, so she's really young. And they didn't find her as a slave until 2011, it looks like. So that's that one. I also picked up The Case of the Missing Marquise by Nancy Springer, and I think this is a middle grade book, and I think I started reading this because there's a bookmark in it. I started reading this with one of my daughters. I still also have Wild, but I might return it. I don't know yet. And I have Switched, which is book 1, Amanda Hocking. I think my daughter wanted to read this one, so she picked it up. I already read this one, and there are 2 more books after that, Torn and Ascend, and I already have them up there. I have book 2 and 3 on my shelf, but I don't have book 1 because I probably either took it out from the library, or when I read it, I usually give it away and I give it to somebody, so I don't have this book 1. So I think that's all that I have from the library right now. Anyway, I read by mood, so I don't know if these will be read or not, but I do have them. That's options, and I also have books on my shelves that I want to read, so it depends on my mood. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. If you like what you see, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.